Did you know that many of the candles that you can purchase from the store contain known carcinogens? Since our family is on a mission to get rid of as many of the toxins from our home as possible, we decided to start making our own candles so that we could have complete control over the ingredients and the supplies that we use. When we started using less toxins in our home, I switched to using a diffuser with essential oils in order to scent our home. But there's something about the coziness of a candle. It just brings a warmth to a home, so I like to have candles on hand as well. I'm actually not the expert. My daughter has been making the candles for us, so I brought her on here today to help us out. If you're new here, I'm Stacy from the blog FromScratchFarmhouse.com, where I share our family's journey to ditching the grocery store and becoming more self-sufficient.
Welcome to the From Scratch Farmhouse. Come learn with us.
Making homemade beeswax candles is super easy to do. We're going to show you exactly what you're going to need and then walk you through the steps. Before we get started, I want to show you everything you're going to need. So first of all, I have some beeswax pellets here. These are just purchased off of Amazon. You also need supplies. So here we have some plastic wax melt containers. If you don't want to use plastic, that's fine. You can purchase glass containers or reuse glass containers. I've seen people use like little mason jars, or you can use coffee cups. You could get creative with what you pour your candles into. So we just purchased these specifically for making candles off of Amazon. We've also purchased little tin containers for making candles as well. You'll also need wicks. These wicks were just purchased off of Amazon. They have a little sticker on the bottom to make it super easy and a stick on the top to hold it in place while you're pouring. You will also need a scale, a pot that will fit another pot inside of it or some sort of double boiler system, as well as a fork and a thermometer. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, let's get started. The rest of the ingredients that you will need will vary slightly depending on which recipe you use. We will be showing two different options. The first recipe includes the beeswax, honey, vanilla, and the essential oil of your choice. We are using lavender here. I will put the links to these products in the description. You will also need an immersion blender for this recipe to get the honey to blend well. So if you don't have one, don't worry. The other recipe does not require this tool. The second recipe includes the beeswax, coconut oil, and essential oils of your choice. The coconut oil is used to help slow down how fast the beeswax burns. The oils that we used are lemon and citrus fresh. We are going to start by making the honey and vanilla candle. For one 8-ounce candle, you will need 5.5 ounces of beeswax. Turn your stove on to medium heat. Then go ahead and pour the measured beeswax into your double boiler and slowly heat it until the beeswax is completely melted. You can gently stir it with a fork or whisk. Then you will remove the melted beeswax from the heat and let it cool until it gets to about 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, slowly mix in 1 tablespoon of honey. You will get the best results here if you drizzle it slowly. We did not do that very well here, and it took a little longer to emulsify. Carefully put your blender into the liquid and give it a few quick pulses. Make sure that you do not lift the blender above the liquid level, or you will spray it everywhere and get burnt. You do not want hot wax on your skin. Next, you will add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Then, repeat the blending process and blend until the mixture is one color throughout and none of the ingredients are sitting on the bottom. You may need to put your pot back on the stove just to heat it up again at this point, since the room temperature ingredients may cause hardening of the wax. Just only leave it on there long enough to remelt the mixture and then take it off again, continuing to stir gently. Ideally, you want 0 bubbles when you go to pour your candle. As soon as your mixture gets back down to 155 degrees, you will add your essential oils. It takes a lot to make a candle actually smell, so we recommend 25 to 30 drops in this recipe. Stir gently to combine, and now it's time to pour the wax into your container of choice. We have pre-stuck the wick to the bottom, and it's ready to go. Go slowly so that it doesn't splash up on the sides, and then as soon as it's poured, make sure to position the wick in the center and then leave it alone while it cools. When you are done, you will notice that beeswax is extremely difficult to get off. In order to clean your supplies, the best way I know how is to heat them up until the wax melts and then wipe clean with a paper towel. Just make sure you are not letting any of the beeswax go down your sink. It will harden and clog it. Okay, the other recipe I'm going to show you is even easier. You will need to first measure out 5.5 ounces of beeswax. We also like to measure out our essential oils at this point and set them aside. Since the only scent in this recipe are the oils, you will need about 50 drops. We are doing 25 drops of lemon and 25 drops of citrus fresh here. This scent just reminds me of summer and helps lift my mood. The combination was definitely a winner. You will then melt your beeswax, just like last time, but with the addition of 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Heat it slowly and stir gently. As soon as it's completely melted, you can remove it from the heat and set it aside to cool. When the mixture hits 155 degrees Fahrenheit, you will then slowly add your essential oils. Slowly is important because whenever you add a room temperature ingredient, if it brings down the temperature of the mixture by adding it too quickly, it will harden. Stir gently to combine. Then you can carefully pour the mixture into your container, following the same instructions as before. And that's it. One thing to note, you should let your candles cure for a few days to get the best results. If you try to burn them right away, they might not have a very strong smell. You can now make your candles and avoid the toxic ones from here on out. Thank you so much for joining me today. For more videos like this one and to follow our homesteading journey, make sure to subscribe.